ត្រឹមតែ$1ក្នុងមួយថ្ងៃអ្នកធានាបាននៅប្រាក់ចំណូលសម្រាប់ក្រុមគ្រួសារលោកអ្នក
Good evening, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to Cambodia Global Dialogue or Southeast Asia TV. Tonight, the theme of our dialogue will be focusing, primarily on how do you promote, your business, particularly for entrepreneur, young entrepreneur. So it's a lot of confusion in the mind between marketing, between advertising. Some people think it's all about Facebook, something about newspaper. Anyway, I think it's important that whether you are in business, whether you are an industry or company or country, you gotta have some sort of marketing, right? Some small, some big, some macro level, some micro level. But anyway, today I have the pleasure to have two people who will share with us their view on what they think marketing and how entrepreneur in Cambodia, particularly in the context of the ASEAN economic community, where you have to compete with the bigger company coming from abroad, and how do you, make your brand, your company known to the customer. Anyway, welcome, Grant Curry.
Thank you so much, Dr. Siphana.
Siphana, yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
As I told you before, when I first came to Cambodia, I actually watched your show to catch myself up on the business atmosphere in Cambodia. So it was a great resource for me, and now I'm so honored to actually be on the show.
All right. Pisay?
Thank you, Paul, for inviting me to join this event.
Okay. And you with All Dream, right? Which is a travel agency.
Travel agent. Oh. No, it's not travel agent. It's DMC.
DMC is what?
DMC is a destination management company. Oh. We are the tour operator. Okay. We are different from the travel agent.
Okay. And last month you one of the 4 young entrepreneur who won the award, Young Entrepreneur Award of the Year, right?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. How does it feel to win the award?
I'm so excited because before I get the award, actually we used to be we are on the top 12 already.
Yes.
And then we try to search I try to search all the profile for other 11.
Oh,
and I see,
competition.
Yeah. And then I see, all of them are strong. And sometimes I'm not really confident that I can get it.
You have to have confidence. Good. Well, say welcome to the show. Okay. So to me, as I said earlier, the stage is that Cambodia is in the ASEAN economic community now. Business is wide open. Company from ASEAN, from non-ASEAN country are coming to our country every day, right? Bus load from Thailand, from Vietnam, plane load from Bangkok, from Singapore, from Malaysia. So they're coming. Then some are visitor, some are coming to do business, some are coming to invest, but they're coming, right? And for the Cambodian company, most of them are still very young, because let's face it, the economy just opened up for last decade or so. Some are very successful, some are struggling to be successful, but one thing is clear, that they need to think about how to promote themselves. And all the time I hear this confusing messages, uncle, I do this, I do that, but not clear. So Grant, your line of business is in marketing, right?
Yes.
Perhaps you can say a bit about, what your company does, and in the context of the larger marketing sort of like industry, if I can say.
So what you said is it's very important right now. Cambodia is in this huge growth state right now, right? It's growing massively. International, not only international people are coming into the country, but international companies are coming into the country, and the international companies that are coming in, they're doing marketing. They do this. They spend massive amounts on marketing, and that's all coming in. But we'll talk about that later. But our company, we're a full service marketing company.
What's the name again?
MangoTango.
All
you won't forget it.
Yeah, I know.
That's MangoTango.Asia. That's the full name. Yeah. But no, we're a full service marketing agency. So
what do you mean by full service?
So full service, it means that when in Cambodia, I think when people think of marketing, they think of what's actually is just advertising, right? Buying an ad on a tuk-tuk, or buying an ad in a magazine, or on TVC, something like that. But marketing is actually much larger than that. It involves what we call the full service. So it starts with planning, right? There's market research and customer segmentation. There's all these things that you need to do before
you mean upstream that we don't see.
Exactly, yeah. And so it's not as visible, right? So people, when you think of marketing, you don't always think of this stuff because it's kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And but companies, it's very important that companies are doing this stuff, because if you're going to go and spend, however much money on an advertising campaign, you need to know who your target is, what your price point is. All of these things, impact how you're going to spend your money, or they should at least. So we really like to focus on the back end, where the market research, the customer segmentation, quantitative, qualitative research, all of that kind of stuff, to make sure that when we actually do go and spend the money on the advertising, or when the company spends the money on the advertising, that we do it right.
Okay.
And then one thing, after we've done the implementation, you also need to follow up. You need to measure what you've done.
Monitoring a bit.
Exactly. Because
the impact, you mean, the impact.
You need to see the impact. You need to measure it, because if you don't measure it, then the next time you do your next marketing campaign, you won't have anything to go off of, because you never measured the success of the last one. So, what's the definition of insanity? It's like doing the same thing wrong over and over again. Yeah. You need to make sure that what you've done worked last time, so that the next time that you do it.
So basically that you cover from upstream all the way to downstream, and then full circle monitoring. All right, I think you can share with us later on what you think, what you can share to others. You don't have to tell the state your business secret, okay? But it's good to also give some idea on other things that you can do for other Cambodians who are doing business, to better understand the difference. So, Grant, so full spectrum business, but in Cambodia, if you benchmark, with advanced country, right, or even ASEAN for that matter, right? ASEAN, where you have the ASEAN 6, the more advanced, like Singapore, very sophisticated, even Thailand, very sophisticated marketing. Where do you see Cambodia vis-a-vis the development, of our marketing?
So it's still the biggest challenge that we find here as a marketing company is that people don't value marketing yet, right? They don't see that they need to do it that much, or if they do it, they spend just a small amount on it.
Because they don't understand.
I don't think that they realize the impact of it. Lots of times we hear, why do I need to do marketing? We're already successful. We're making money, and you could be making the argument that we make, at least for that, is that you could be making much more. But this is all going to change. Like if you look at, let's say, telecom operators, like if you look back in the early 2000s, right? There was just like two telecom operators. I wasn't here at that time, so I'm not exactly sure, but and so I'm sure that they didn't have to do that much advertising back then, because if you wanted
it's a captive market.
Yeah, if you wanted a plan, you had two options to go and get the cell phone, so you just went and got one or the other. And then around like the late 2000s, all these other companies started moving in, and really, the competition just ramped up very aggressively. So all of a sudden, these companies realized, oh, we need to start, doing marketing. We need to do a lot of it. And now I would say, telecom in Cambodia, they're the best at marketing out of all the industries here, because of the competition. It drove them to learn it and become really good at it.
But they're all big companies, so for them they have to advertise because they understand the value of advertising.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. But if you lower down one notch, to the Cambodian business community, you still feel that they have not appreciated the value of marketing yet.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, and it's also, the smaller companies too, they're like, oh, we can't do this massive, of course they don't have the budget, so it's like the large telecom operators, but there's still stuff that they can be doing. The Small Business Association of America recommends that companies, this is in America, same thing. I mean, all this stuff applies across, 7 to 8% of your revenue should be
gross
spent.
or net?
Gross revenue should be spent.
That's a lot, huh?
Yeah, it's quite a bit. Yeah. I mean, so that's what you should be spending on marketing services.
Yes.
Yeah. But higher competition industries like Procter & Gamble and Unilever, those companies spend, like 15% of sales, which is, a much greater number than revenue. So,
but these are global companies, though.
These are global companies, but it applies here. I mean, global companies are going to be moving into Cambodia, and the reason that these global companies spend this much on marketing is because it works, right? I mean, they wouldn't. It's not just we have this money, so we're just going to go and spend it on this, even though it doesn't work. They're spending the money because it's driving sales and it's driving more revenue for them in the future. So,
Pisay, you're not Procter & Gamble, you're not Coca-Cola, you're not the big company, you're not Kuni, but from your perspective as a small, entrepreneur, starting business for last 3 years, how do you define marketing? What have you done? Because I'm pretty sure you must have done something right, to have the business as you have now.
Yeah. We have done something until now. What we have done to promote our country is that we have a 2 points to go. First, we try to keep relationship with all the major agents, also the partner abroad. And also we are keep visit them 1 or twice a year in order to.
So you fly over there? Wow.
We have a partner.
Yes.
That he's based on the marketing.
Yes.
And then he always go for the sales call.
Yes.
And visit them 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
And then we bring them about Cambodia, show them what you can do and you cannot do, and what is new in Cambodia. And then it's me that we try to promote more, present more to our partner to understand well about Cambodia. Because we sell Cambodia to the...
Yes, you're right. Because your product is Cambodia.
Yes.
Because it's quite different than other people who sell mug or they sell iPad or something like this, right? So you are in in a travel and tour business. You're selling Cambodia. It's quite interesting.
Yes.
But since you are more inbound, you have to go out there, right?
Yep.
It's very different because she's marketing outside of Cambodia.
Yes.
Which is very...
Yes. So you don't do much domestic national promotion?
No.
It's quite interesting.
Not at all.
Yeah. Oh.
And then we also representative of Cambodia to attend all the tourist fair. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. And then keep invite all the product manager, press.
What do you mean by product?
Product manager is mean like actually the company they have one of the products manager that they produce all the program.
Okay.
But not only in Cambodia because they can be selling around, so they have to issue all the program for every country.
Okay.
And then we need them to come to Cambodia.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I know that some agents they just only know Cambodia by communication only. They never come. Okay. And then we always keep inviting them to be here and to see on spot what you can do in Cambodia and more interesting.
Okay, good, very good. Yeah. So I think we're gonna call a short break now, and then after that we will resume, and I want to hear from you a bit what more domestic promotion or marketing, right?
ចូលមកកាន់កម្មវិធី Full Us គឺជាកម្មវិធីលំដាប់ថ្នាក់ពិភពលោកហើយមានអ្នកទស្សនារាប់លាននាក់មានស្លៀកហាសកម្មប្លែកៗជក់ចិត្តដាស់អារម្មណ៍ កុំភ្លេចទេសោះហើយចូលរួមចាប់ចំណុចនិងកំហុសឆ្គងទាំងអស់គ្នា
ឈុតឆាកពិតៗនិងពិតជាព្រឺព្រួយ
ហើយទាំងកំ pl ែងសើចសប្បាយហូរពេញឆាកក្នុងកម្មវិធី Full Us ផងដែរ
ទេសនាទាំងអស់គ្នា
ផ្សាយជូនទេសនារៀងរាល់ថ្ងៃសុក្រវេលាម៉ោង 9 ដល់ម៉ោង 10 យប់និងផ្សាយឡើងវិញរៀងរាល់ថ្ងៃសៅរ៍វេលាម៉ោង 9 ដល់ម៉ោង 10 ព្រឹកឧបត្ថម្ភដោយ
ប៉ូការីស្វេតភេសជ្ជៈអ៊ីយ៉ុងដែលល្អជាងគេបំផុតនៅប្រទេសជប៉ុនប៉ូការីស្វេតផ្ដល់នូវសុខភាពល្អជាមួយអ៊ីយ៉ុង
ទឹកផ្លែឈើអូឡាតេមួយកំប៉ុងស្មើទឹកដោះគោស្រស់មួយកែវអូឡាតេភេសជ្ជៈនៃសម្រស់និងសុខភាពអូឡាតេ
ជួគោលបន្តចំនួនគ្រឿងម៉ាស៊ីនរបស់លោកអ្នកទឹកសណ្តែក Freshie ល្អសម្រាប់អ្នក
Trumchi GS5 your urban SUV GAC motor នេះគឺក្លិនជាភាពស្រស់ស្អាតរបស់អ្នក
Gensberg ឈ្ងុយស្រាបៀរអាល្លឺម៉ង់ឆ្ងាញ់លើសពីស្រាបៀរធម្មតាត្រឹមតែ$1ក្នុងមួយថ្ងៃអ្នកធានាបាននៅប្រាក់ចំណូលសម្រាប់ក្រុមគ្រួសារលោកអ្នក
All right, Grant, I think now let's focus a bit back home, right? Because the marketing, I think, there are a few P. Mm-hmm. It's what you have, product,
yep.
price,
yep.
place, and promotion.
Wonderful.
And hey, look, let me see. So about 30 years ago, I remember, I studied a bit of marketing 30 years ago, right? Yeah, but getting old now. So earlier we sort of distinguish a bit about marketing domestically, and Pisay was talking more about how she go out there outside the country to promote the product, right? So in your view, product, price, place, promotion, all these things have to go together, right?
Yeah, it's called the marketing matrix. Like we want everything has to come together perfectly so that you're getting the right target customer at the right price and everything works well. So
yes,
people want to buy your product.
Yeah. So domestically, you see that from the big company, clearly they appreciate the value of marketing. But what can you do to instill more, I would say, buying in from a Cambodian entrepreneur to start to see, look, if you, let's say we talk about this condominium, right? If you sell one more condo, one more house in the Borei, right? That will make up for all your expenditure in promotion,
especially on high margin products like that. I mean, there's no reason that people the products that have high margins that they shouldn't be doing more marketing. Because if, like you said, if you sell one more condo, they've made up their entire marketing budget right there, and they're gonna sell more than probably just one. So it makes sense to do it. But I think that when you're talking about what they can do, the product, the 4 P's of marketing, it's very important. That's the strategy side of things. That's when I was talking earlier about the full service marketing. That's why it's so important. Is you have to look at what the 4 P's of marketing. So for example, like if you look at beer, for example, dark beer. Let's look at dark beer.
Yeah.
So dark beer in the West, it's sold as something. It's like hops. It's flavorful. It's something that people like to drink because it's they enjoy the flavor. They enjoy the taste of it. Here, if you actually look at on ABC, for example, if you look on the Chinese character, it's bu wu.
Yeah,
it means health. So it's a different thing. They're actually marketing the dark beer here is a kind of a healthier, like something that manly, strong, something that makes you more manly, that kind of thing. So it's a different. You need to look at. You can't just, and that's something that international brands need to do as well. They can't just come over here and expect to do the same kind of thing here. I don't want to talk bad about any brands doing, but there's certain brands that come over here and they use the same media that they would use in other countries as well, and and they need to kind of localize the stuff for the local team. And that's something that I think that Cambodian companies have a real advantage over, because, you know, when these international companies do come in and, you know, they start doing their marketing, maybe they're still using international marketing agencies. You know, they're not using local agencies who know the local Cambodian market. And Cambodian companies, I know you're outbound, so it's a little bit different, but Cambodian companies that are here, you know, they have an advantage because they know what Cambodian people want. They know what Cambodian people need. So they already have this kind of step up on the international company. So if they do spend, then it will probably be better.
So in the range, the spectrum of marketing tools, right? What do you see in Cambodia we have now that you know other country has and we don't have?
I would say there's not a lot of syndicated research here.
Okay. What do you mean by syndicated research?
Syndicated research is where it's usually where like an industry gets together, or like a
toothpaste, right?
Yeah. No.
Or soap, right?
No, yeah. It's where an industry gets together and they'll spend money. They'll all come together and they'll spend money to fund a research study. These are usually big studies.
Yes, but here you need an association, right?
You need an association, or sometimes governments fund these things, or you know, NGOs, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they're really helpful because I know inside of industries, companies usually want to compete, right?
Okay.
They're competitors.
Yeah.
But there are certain times when it makes sense for you know, these companies to kind of come together and fund these things, because if you fund a research study, everybody's going to be able to go and benefit from that. It's going to bring up the industry as a whole. Kind of like a rising tide brings up all boats, right?
You know, you mentioned that's quite interesting, because I recall a few years ago when the government just launched the rice promotion policy. At that time, you know, not long ago, 5 years ago, right? 2011, and it's a lot of small rice miller, rice exporter, and they all compete each other. And I tell them that, you know, there are time to compete, there are time to collaborate.
Yeah.
Because the main thing is that your market is out there. You need to sell your rice to Germany, to Poland, to other countries. So they like we say, look, let's promote Cambodian, you know, as a brand, right? In the rice industry, let's promote Cambodian flagrant rice, right?
Yep.
You know, Malay or whatever brand we have, right? So on their own, they didn't understand that. So they don't join hand, and they find that ultimately they hurt themselves. So later on, I think there was the Ministry of Commerce organized a mission to Thailand, and we took them to see the Rice Federation of Thailand.
How they cooperate.
And so they took the Cambodian rice miller to a huge place, right? And they said, wow, so you have all of that. Say, yes, when we promote Thai rice. And then we get a big order, we divide, okay? Your rice mill, you can do, you know, 5,000 tons, right? Okay, you have 5,000. The other one, big one, 20,000, fine. So you see, their goal is to go out there as a group, as a country, and promote, right? And then from there, you know, you divide up, see. So you're right, there are time to promote, there are time to compete, right? And in the case of Pisay, she's doing more favor to other people that didn't even know. Because when those tour people coming off the plane, 100 people, where they go? They stay in a hotel, they spend money. They go to the market, they spend money. You know, they go eat restaurant, they spend money.
Yeah. So that's the kind of thing, though, like as an industry, they could come together, and because it's very expensive. If like Pisay has to go out and promote Cambodia by herself, she has to be the one out there all by herself saying, you know, come to Cambodia, do this, do that. And for research studies, you know, if you have to go out and, you know, fund a research study all by yourself, it's very expensive. But if they come together and do that,
what would you advise? Say, for example, you know, in Cambodia now you have a very active Young Entrepreneur Association, Cambodia Women Entrepreneur Association, the Cambodia Investor Club, the CEO Master Club. You have all these grouping already. What would you advise them, you know, to along that line, you know? Guys, chip in some money, you know, and let's do a study on a particular product. What would be your advice on that? So that they appreciate better the power of marketing.
Yeah, I'm not sure, like, because they would all be in different industries,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So,
but you can cluster them.
Yeah, you can cluster it. Yeah, I mean, perhaps, funding anything right now, there's just such a lack of syndicated research in Cambodia. It's really hard for any company because you're flying blind a lot when you're doing these campaigns. You don't have stuff to go, like in America, if you're doing anything, any kind of advertising, you can just go into Google and search something, right? And then that's free stuff. That's not even like paid research reports, and you can get this information in Cambodia. It's very difficult to get that information. So yeah, I mean, if you guys wanted to come together and fund some stuff and talk about it, we can.
Yeah, but say, do you collaborate with other tour or travel agency or company? Or you just want to look? I just want to keep for myself.
Actually, we do alone. We do alone.
Ah, okay.
Because our partner, most of them, they know us already.
Yeah.
And when they decide to work with us, because they believe us.
Okay.
They know how the service we can provide to them. They know the quality.
Yeah.
And then what we going to see them year to year, because we just only present them the new thing in Cambodia, and then maybe something to show them more, that ask them try to promote Cambodia, bring more clients to Cambodia.
But here is the activity you do. You invite them to come, but you must have done something nationally to have them confidence in you, right? So you're dealing with the hotel. You're dealing with the restaurant, you're dealing with the tour in Siem Reap, you're dealing with the bus line. Yeah. All these things are all activity that you are promoting.
Yep. Actually, before we send them the package tour,
yes,
we already have all the contract. We connect each other already.
Okay.
It means that the client, when they see us, they already have all the package.
Yes.
Everything, accommodation, transportation, guide, restaurant, everything is included. Actually, in the nation, we already do the cooperation.
Okay. So you are collaborating.
Are you doing? Is your business mostly like B2C or B2B? Like
B2B only.
It's B2B. So you're talking with other agents.
Yes. We're not talking direct to the client. We're talking to the travel agent out at abroad.
Okay. So it's B2B.
Yeah, B2B business.
Yeah, which is important as well. I mean, B2B, you need to market in that as well. Lots of people, they think because I'm B2B, it's more sales. But you're still building up a brand. You still want to get your story out there because even the companies, the people in those, they're going to respect the brand if they know about it. And even though you're targeting a much smaller amount of people, it still is an important thing to do.
What are the challenges you see? Okay, we don't have syndicate industry research. What else you think that we should have? We should do?
Besides syndicated research, it's really, I think it's kind of in a golden era for companies marketing here right now.
Exactly.
It's a very good time. Mediums are cheap.
Okay. You mean IT?
Like
it's more than IT, right?
It's more than IT. It's radio spots still.
Okay.
They're cheap. TVC is not that expensive.
Okay.
Print ads, and they're decent.
Tuk-tuk, don't forget tuk-tuk.
Tuk-tuk is cheap, and we love tuk-tuks.
Yes.
We think that they're a great way because it's mass. Everybody can see those.
And at least you help pass down some money to the tuk-tuk driver. They make some money, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay,
yes,
good.
Yeah, so there's all these mediums. The mediums are cheap. Other than that, the growth rate here is astounding. So, and not that many people are doing marketing. So if you are doing marketing, then you're that much above the rest of the companies. So if you start to spend money on this stuff, I think that you'll see. Because in the West, for example, everybody's spending 6 or 7, 8%, 10%, 20% of their gross revenues on marketing services. So it's a very crowded market. It's very hard to get your message out here. Here it's still you have the ability to do that, and then you're going to stand out more because people are seeing it.
I think sometimes just the simple act of presenting a better business card, a better logo, a better brochure, or putting a big sign. I see your car, you have that sticker, right? your company there,
company,
right?
Logo,
see?
Well, and what PC's company does, I mean, they do content marketing as well, which is...
What is content marketing?
Content marketing is, creating actual content that people want to read. You're not just, slapping a logo up and saying, this is my brand. You're creating stuff. It's normally, online where people read stuff and they want to read it. So people are actually coming to your thing to read it. So if you go... she has a blog and it's pretty well maintained on the website. And
you checked it out already?
I checked it out.
All right, awesome. See, already you see the fact that somebody is checking on you. So, which is good because here it linked to the whole world of what I call the new economy, which is all internet, all IT, cyberspace, and I think for every company, if they are not in cyberspace, they're missing the whole thing.
It's very important, especially, in Cambodia, it's Facebook, right?
It's Facebook,
it's Facebook is just so powerful here.
Yes.
So, every company here should be on Facebook, and they should be, even for the younger, entrepreneurial businesses that don't have these large marketing budgets. Facebook is kind of course, there's tricks of the trade that, we have that they might not have, but there's things that, even without a marketing budget, people who aren't that familiar with that, they can begin to do, set up a Facebook and just start sharing things like, press releases, articles about your company, just pictures of a cat sitting on your windowsill in your office building. All kinds of things that just get people
Grant, now I'm back to content again. Facebook is a medium.
It's a medium.
But, company must have good content.
Yeah, that's...
Because without content or out-of-date content or misplaced content, it can also backfire.
Facebook is good, but if you're not putting stuff on it, then it's just kind of sitting there idly, and sometimes it could actually make you look, make something look worse if somebody comes to your Facebook and there's been no activity for a long time. So, but there's things that companies produce content whether they know it or not, and they just need to share that stuff.
Yes.
So
good. Well, it's almost time to wrap up the second break. Okay, so let's take a short break. We can have some water.
គម្រោង A គ្មានជំងឺរោគស្ត្រីធ្វើជាស្ត្រីដែលមានសុខភាពល្អ
គម្រោង B គ្មានជំងឺរោគបុរសធ្វើជាបុរសដែលមានសុខភាពល្អ គម្រោង C ឆាប់មានទម្ងន់បង្កើតបានកូនដែលមានសុខភាពល្អ
ចង់សម្រេចនៅគម្រោង ABC សូមអញ្ជើញរស់រាន់ទៅ Victoria
ចាប់ពីថ្ងៃទី1រហូតដល់ថ្ងៃទី30ខែកញ្ញាមន្ទីរពេទ្យអន្តរជាតិ Victoria បានរៀបចំគម្រោង ABC ជំនួយសុខភាពបន្តពូជអ្នកឯកទេសចានរូបបរំគ្នាវិនិច្ឆ័យរោគស្ត្រីរោគបុរសគ្មានបត់គ្មានផ្ទៃពោះពីដិត30ប្រពន្ធបុកយកតម្លៃ$1ថ្លៃព្យាបាលពាក្យកាត់យកតម្លៃ 50% ដល់ឆ្នាំលេខ 7 ខែឥតគិតថ្លៃ Victoria ទូរស័ព្ទផ្ដល់ព័ត៌មាន023 95 1111 អាស៊ីឋាននៅកិច្ចជ្រុងស្តុបផ្សារមនអាងខាងទូកោរាជធានីភ្នំពេញ ត្រឹមតែ$1ក្នុងមួយថ្ងៃអ្នកធានាបាននៅប្រាក់ចំណូលសម្រាប់ក្រុមគ្រួសារលោកអ្នក
Say, Grant, we are in the last part now, so I want to be a bit bold here. Cambodia, in terms of technology, I say, process in terms of absorbing the technology. For the last 10 years, we see a exponential growth of the use of IT as a medium. Facebook, God knows what else, so many things in this cyber world. And thanks to the telecom, we very fast internet penetration. You go to most of the coffee shop, everybody have a free Wi-Fi. It's a condition sine qua non. So how do you see Cambodia taking advantage of this massive, cheap, high penetration IT to support them?
So I think it's transforming Cambodia, right? It's opening up Cambodia to the world, and as more of this tech, it becomes cheaper and more people have access to it. The numbers change. It's so hard to even have statistics on this stuff because they change. Like as soon as they're out, they're already kind of irrelevant. But it's like I think it's 40% of Cambodians now have a smartphone, which is amazing. So, we're starting to get the technology into people's hands where you can, feed everybody. For marketing especially, you can reach more and more people through, ICT products, which is very important. So businesses need to, that's why I say all businesses need to kind of be doing things online. Every company, small companies especially, you should go and Google your company. Right? There's
Google yourself.
Google yourself. I can't tell you how many companies we've actually we just type into Google and the information on the sidebar will be wrong.
Like the address, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Many times I tell you. Yeah, in fact, you sent me yesterday. Siphana, is this the address, right? And you sent me the Google thing.
They have it.
Yeah, they have it.
SEATV is correct. You guys are good. Yeah.
Okay, good. So you say, what have you done in cyberspace in terms of internet penetration? What sort of thing you done?
Now we just only do we call a newsletter that we issue monthly, send to our partner.
Okay.
That's like a monthly we update information.
Yes.
Like a new hotel, new big event happen and it's going to happen, and many things relate to the tourists. We always release monthly by newsletter and then send to them.
By online, right? By email.
Online, by email.
And how's your website?
The website, we also keep updating some activity as well. We have a person to in charge it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
To always look after it and post something new. Also the same as a newsletter. But with a type more detail and more photo.
And you have blogs also, right?
No.
No, you don't have a blog.
Yeah.
But how?
You have the news on your.
Yeah, the news. Yes.
And you post things.
Yeah. So that's a blog, right?
Essentially, yeah.
It's a blog.
Yeah.
What's a blog?
Well, it's what she decided to name it. So news blog. She's telling people she's having a platform where she's speaking directly.
So is that the same thing? That hashtag there, whatever.
Hashtag is
Twitter.
That's Twitter, yeah.
Oh, okay. So when people use the hashtag, when do people use that? Do you use it as a marketing or just purely chit chatting?
Well, that's to get so that people can come and see what you are, and you go out and then people can search the hashtags. But you say Twitter, and that's an interesting thing because our MangoTango, we actually did a Twitter for Business presentation, and that was kind of a controversial thing here because Facebook is so huge. People are like, oh, why Twitter in Cambodia? But
give me an example. Don't need to mention the name of company. Give an example on how do you use that tool, that Twitter, you wouldn't use in Facebook, for example.
Well, this is something about who your target audience is. Who are you trying to reach, right? If you're trying to reach a young, 20-something, 30-something, Facebook is by far the thing. I would say that's the top medium for anything.
Okay.
But if you're trying to reach the more decision makers, CEOs, that kind of thing, those people are on Twitter. So that's why, it's important. So that's why we say, some people ask, what's the best medium for marketing? What's the best, where should I spend my money? I just want to do this. And it totally depends on who you're trying to target.
How and LinkedIn, what's that?
LinkedIn, well, that's more of a personal,
okay.
But businesses should utilize that as well.
Yes. So the tool that is made available through internet is broad.
Yeah, there's tons of tools, and they're starting to get picked up. For a long time, Facebook in Cambodia was the internet. When people, they would just go directly to Facebook, and that's what people do here. But websites are starting to become important as well. Companies before, they would be Facebook first. They would just have a Facebook, and now. Companies are starting to realize that it's important that they do have a Facebook. That they do have a website as well.
Okay. So whether we realize or we know or not, we can see this progress, right?
It's happening. It's happening quickly.
Okay. But I think IT is a great equalizer in the sense that country like Cambodia, we are latecomer in the ASEAN. People say that, the CLMV are the last 4, you have the ASEAN 6, who are more advanced, economically and everything. But I think IT, that's why I say it's a great equalizer, because you're able to just move up so fast in the spectrum of information sharing in terms of using this tool to promote your country, your company.
You can use it to start. I mean, you can do your own businesses too with this, and it's a great. Like if you look at roseherb.com, the new online shopping market. I mean, this was just a girl. She started doing makeup blogs and makeup tutorials and that kind of thing, just putting out content that people really want to see. Content marketing, and then people start to like that, and now she's like one of the biggest e-commerce companies in Cambodia.
Is that right? What's the name again?
Roseherb.com.
How do you spell it?
ROSERB.
Oh, Roseherb.
Yeah. So
right. And what does she sell? She sells
makeup products and all kinds of stuff like that. But it's content marketing. She's creating stuff that people really want to see, and then
on Facebook.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Facebook. I mean, she shares on Facebook, of
sure,
course,
sure.
But social media strategy. So.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Well, I mean, so in that sense, we're not doing too bad, right?
Not doing too bad, no.
In the context of ASEAN, we're okay.
Yeah, doing all right. Yeah.
So how do you now, if we want to fast forward Cambodia 5 years from now, what do you see the trend? Particularly for the young entrepreneur, how can they in 5 years' time, or at least catch up with the neighbor? What should they do?
5 years, it's like it's an eternity. No, but I think that keep doing more marketing, spend that budget, catch up. As the competition moves in, people are going to realize that they have to be doing this stuff.
Yes.
And it's very quickly, Cambodia is changing so quickly, and if companies are not doing this, then they will get left behind, sadly. But there's the opportunities, as I said before. It's the golden age for marketing in Cambodia. So companies have endless opportunities to get out there and engage people. And the other thing about Cambodia too is there's so much opportunity to new products, right? There are products that people haven't really had a use for before. Like certain personal care products. There's a good Listerine in like the 1880s in America. That's when Listerine was invented. The stuff, the mouthwash.
Yeah.
And then nobody ever bought this thing for like 50 years. It wasn't until the 1930s that they started doing marketing for it. And maybe they had 100,000 sales or something. But then in the 1930s they did a huge marketing campaign about bad breath. And then they made people feel like, bad breath is a bad thing. You need to have good breath. And it became a cultural thing in America that you had to have good breath. And then all of a sudden, the sales shot up to the millions, and they were making tons of money. So that you have that same opportunity here. There's new product categories that are not, that haven't really taken hold here yet. And if you can market those to the Cambodians, then you could change habits, and then people might start using this as well.
So here is an opportunity for creative entrepreneur to start looking what Cambodia has that is unexplored, unexploited, and then use the medium of IT, of the internet, of the various tools available there to promote. It's a business in itself. It's a business in itself. It's quite interesting. Say any idea you're thinking. How do you see your company 5 years down the road? What would you do more different?
Actually, according to the technology, we saw that the trend of the traveling, it changed. Last time it's more people is coming to us through agent, travel agent from abroad. But now we start to have some people are logged in direct to us. It means that through the internet, they can contact us directly.
C to B.
Yes, B to C.
B to C, yeah.
And then this is a thing that all dream concerning. It means like we want to improve it to reach this market. Because people, when they traveling now, they start to concern more about the prices. So some of them, they have a feeling that goes through agency, it's more expensive than they go direct to agent. So that's why now we try to upgrade ourselves to reach this level. But we're still on the processing.
Okay. But I think life is easier to deal B2B, right? You cannot fly to meet everybody, right?
Actually, it's different. B2B, we can target more for the group.
Yes.
And B2C is for individual only.
Okay.
It's more than 10 pack. It's not easy to organize them.
Oh, okay.
Because everyone will take us every day about this, about that. But if the B2B, it means the agent at abroad, they already discussing and found out the bad thing and then go to us only one time.
You know, our family, we try to go on vacation, you know, a couple of times a year, but we cheat, you know, we go Airbnb, right? And I have my daughter, you know, book all the, you know, hotel, or not the hotel, is the room, right? So to experience, and we told her that, Rosette, next time, you know, you have to improve, because when she checked, you know, it's nice room, right? Nice kitchen thing, but there's no elevator. And like we're on the 4th floor. And you know, when travel have the luggage, you know, I say, oh, Rosette, next time you have to check, make sure if it's on the 3rd, 4th floor, you know, we have to carry the luggage. So you see, it's quite interesting. But we save a lot of money.
Yeah.
We save a lot of money that will go to the hotel. I mean, you know, but it's more fun, you know. Yeah. Well, it's amazing that now we have the possibility to plan our own trip without much to spend a lot of money.
Well, I'm sure that's something that's changing in your industry as well. Like, you know, you are getting more individual people wanting to come here. Like, it's like China, like there's more individual travelers coming from China.
You know, when people come to Cambodia, do they use now? Do we have Airbnb in Cambodia?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
When I first came to Cambodia, actually, stayed in an Airbnb, so I could like meet some people.
All right. Okay. So you see, competition is coming. You have to be.
We know the trend now. That's why we are studying, trying to upgrade ourselves to this level.
Okay. B2C then.
Yeah.
B2C.
B2C.
Yeah. So all in all, I think now we understand better, or at least I hope the young entrepreneur there would listen to our show and then give them some idea. You know? But anyway, Grand per se, we're coming to the end of our program, and let me just wrap up very quickly, and then we can say that it's been a pleasure to have you in the show. Anyway, I think from what I get from our short discussion here is that marketing is a must for entrepreneur, for a young entrepreneur particularly, as they are more IT savvy, they appreciate better the power technology of the internet and the various tools that they have. And according to Grant, he feel that it's not utilized enough, and we should be focusing more on investing into marketing if we are to compete, number one, not just among ourselves nationally, but to compete with bigger companies who are coming to our country, because they do advertise, they do marketing, and they will get name recognition, brand recognition. So us locally, we also have to, you know, appreciate the power of marketing. But bear in mind that now it's cheaper and cheaper, there's more tool available, maximize that, and hopefully you can use this tool, you know, as a way to also create new business opportunity, as Grant has mentioned earlier. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you next week. Good night.